Hi Flosstube, it's Elisa with eCrafting in Colorado. Today is Saturday, January 29th, 2022, and this will be Flosstube number 7 for me. It's been about 3 weeks since my last video with my Startapalooza. I wanted to come back on and kind of share how that's going. It's going good. An update on my focus piece. I kind of changed my mind after I saw how things were going through the rest of this month. My initial goal was to get 1,000 stitches on all of my new projects. But since I had started these projects sooner than my initial plans were, I changed that goal to 2,000 stitches roughly. So they're either just right at 2,000 or maybe a little more. But that's where I'm mostly at for my full coverage projects. So I've made some good progress on those. I'm going to share that today, as well as my focus piece, which is Birds in Bloom. My goal for Birds in Bloom was to hit 70% complete by the end of 2021, and with the no new starts ending sooner, that goal went out the door for the 70% because I was ready to start new things. So here is my focus piece, Birds in Bloom by Amy Stewart. It's a Haid, and here is where I am now on that piece. So I got a little sun coming in, even down in the basement. I am now at 68.71%. So here we are along here. Since the last time I saw you, I think I had pulled out all of that old gridding. You still see a few column lines and stuff, but that once I wash this, those will pop back up again. So I'm not concerned. And I have a new bird this time around. So last time you saw this, I just had a little section right in here, I believe, that I needed to fill. And I got that done. I gridded all of this, and now we have this new bird. So we are coming right along. My goal was then to hit 70% by the end of the month, so the end of January. Since that is in 3 days, I don't think I'll reach that. So my goal now is I got to get that 70%. So hoping to hit 70% on this piece. Once I finally do, then I'm going to go back into a rotation with all of my older projects and start with my older projects and work up to these new ones here. So that's the plan for now. We'll see how that goes. So the next project I worked on here was, if you're a 70s person like myself, you'll recognize this little gal, Holly Hobby. And that's what she's gonna look like. I got her off of eBay. Not eBay, Etsy. Sorry. And the last time you guys saw this, you just had, my little needle minder, just had the blue bonnet on there. So only the blue part of the bonnet was done. And the last, I think I just worked on this one night. So we've got all these little speckles in here, and her little curls are starting to show. So yeah, she's a cute little munchkin. Next project I worked on, which is my biggest Haid here, it is Peacock Daisy by Heaven and Earth Design. Here's what the picture will look like when it's done. And here's what it looks like now. So I'm coming quite along on here. Because this is so massive, I am at 0.75% complete. which is not much. So I'm at 0.75%, and I watched the Flosstuber thread the needle, and I was watching her on how she did her diagonal parking, which is kind of her own version of it, which I thought I was really gonna like. So she does it by 10, and she'll come down the row, and if she runs out of thread at the bottom, then she'll kind of pop back up and finish the thread off if she has just a few stitches left in there. So I tried doing that. So far so good, but this doesn't have a lot of confetti or anything. It's more black color. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's coming along just fine. No problems there. The next one I am working on is Red is Ravishing by Artisy, and the designer is Peggy Davis, and this is what the picture will look like when it's done. And here's what it looks like now. And this, I'm gonna be honest with you, I tried that diagonal cross country, but this time instead of with 10 across, I did 20, because I really don't like stopping and starting my threads, and I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with this that way, because there's a lot of confetti in here, and I'm just like, I want to go rogue. If there's one stitch and it's right next to it and it's not, I just like, I gotta get this. So we'll see. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do things, but I'm trying to keep up with all you modern stitchers and how you do your fancy. I'm usually just cross country and kind of go with the flow. So, but yeah, this one I am farthest along on all of my new ones. I am at 3.5% done, and I really like those colors. I think I say that every time I show this, but yeah, it's come along pretty good. Next one that I worked on is called Spring's Renewal by Artisy, and the designer was Mark Kethley. And this is what the project will look like when it's done. And here's what it looks like now. So on here you can see there's a little tree limb, and the sunlight's kind of coming through the tree leaves. I think this is going to be about the lightest of the coloring on this piece, but I'm really liking it so far. Yeah, really liking it. Again, this piece I started on the diagonal, and I'm kind of going rogue. So I might just be a cross country, yeah, we'll see. But you know what? Progress is progress, no matter what you're doing. So yeah, I'm trying to do this with this new gridding that I'm doing, so just struggle a little bit with those. Pardon me, I'm still dealing with this cold I can't quite get rid of. And the last project that I worked on these last 3 weeks is Quick Stitch Sleep Time by Ciro Marchetti. Also by Hade. This is what it will look like. And here's where I am now. So I am doing this with Jemima, the Rocking Stitcher, and Yantina from Yantina Stitches. And we're doing this as a friendship sale. As you can see here, the top right here, that's the little armrest to the rocking chair. And then this here is the top of the dog's head. And then this is his little eye coming in. And I think this is his second little eye right there. So yeah, these dark maroons and reds. Yeah, I really like it. So on this one, I am at 2.79% complete. So So I'm really enjoying that one too. And again, this one I probably won't see for a little while because I'm gonna go back to my previous projects and start. I'm kind of missing some of those. Some of them I haven't worked on since October of last year, and so it's kind of strange to think for how many months I haven't touched any of those. So it'll be nice to get back to those. So I wanted to reach out, or not reach out, but I wanted to thank those of you. I forgot this in my last video. Those of you who reached out to me in regards to the fires here in Colorado. Right before New Year's, there was a fire here. Tragically, there were roughly 1,000 structures that were burned. They're still investigating the start of the fire, but most of those structures were people's homes. And they just left not knowing that they would never come back to their homes. So it's quite devastating to think of whole neighborhoods that just destroyed. And so I want to thank those of you who did reach out to make sure that we were okay. That was really sweet of you on doing that, to make sure that myself and my family were okay. But I also wanted to ask you guys, I was talking to my brother-in-law who's here, and he's a huge golfer. And we were kind of talking, if that would happen, this fire or a natural disaster or something, and you had moments to pack your car, what would you take? He said he would take his golf clubs. No, I'm not a golfer. You can always buy new golf clubs. But hey, that's what he would take. As stitchers, my question to you is, if you had a sentimental piece or something that you had been working on for years, would you take your stitching? Granted, your life is obviously more important. Hands down, your life, your pets, your loved ones, no doubt about it. But I'm just curious if you would pack your stuff to take with you, especially some of these pieces that you've worked on years and years and years, or maybe it's an heirloom piece that somebody had specifically made for you. And I don't mean to come across derogatory or anything, but a lot of these pieces have a lot of sentimental value to us. So I'm just kind of throwing it out there. I'm just curious. If you would, fine, and if you wouldn't, that's fine too. Just like I said, just curious. So, and then lastly, I wanted to do a couple shout outs today, just 2 of them. The first one is James, the PH Stitcher, and I have to tell you, that guy, he is such a nice promoter of other floss tubers. He'll post out there, this is who I'm watching today, I'm watching this one today, or I really like this, and he's really trying to build others up, and I really like that from him. James is working on a couple of mirabilias, some owl forest projects that I really like. Those of you that are working on owl forest projects, yeah, I'm starting to look at those and I'm like, I can't be looking at any more kits, projects, designers. I gotta take care of what I've got. But he's working mirabilia, owl forest, and hades. He's got quite a few hades. He's actually working on I think it's called Bird Garden, which is the smaller piece of Birds in Bloom. They cut off that picture, and I would have chosen that one rather than this one if they had that one out. But I started this one and I was way too far in, and so I'm like, yep, I'm gonna stick with this one. So, and the other floss tuber I wanted to do a shout out today is Jessica Stitching in MO. And I think that MO stands for Missouri. I don't know. Just guessing. But she mostly does Hades, and they're beautiful pieces. And the thing, she had mentioned that she had done Flosstube before, and I had never. I just found her, like I said, 2 nights ago. She's got quite a bit of progress on her projects, and I like seeing different ones' projects. But when you see it more than just a few hundred, or the top right or the top left corner, you know, when you actually see it a third of the way done, or halfway done, it's nice to see more than just a corner. So I've really liked those videos that she's just recently put up. So I would definitely suggest checking her out. She seems like a sweet lady. So anyway, that's all I had for today. It's just going to be a short and sweet video. So I hope you all are safe. Hope you all are doing well. And want to thank y'all for spending time with me this afternoon. And hope you all take care. Thanks, Flosstube. Bye-bye.